Hey there, this is Mike Shoemake, and I'm going to very quickly go over a quick tip in Excel. What we're going to do is concatenate, and concatenation is the disambiguation in computer programming of data strings. That's a lot of very complicated terminology. For what it means is we're going to combine what's in two columns and we're going to jam it into one column. And we're going to do it very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the equal sign, and I'm going to start writing concatenate, and then you can see it's going to pop up for me in Excel. So I'm going to double click it, and when I do, it pops up, and it already gives me the outer end of a parentheses. So now I'm going to select the first thing that I want in my combination of multiple cells. So the first thing I want is Christina's first name, because Christina Chung is the name we're going to combine. So we're going to hit this cell, so B2. So what we've told the computer now is we're combining B2 with something else. The next thing I have to do is I have to put a comma there, because computer recognizes a comma meaning and now the next thing. So I'm going to click the next cell, Chung, and that's going to write C2 right here. So I'm going to close that parentheses. That's telling the computer that's all, and I'm going to hit enter. And what you can see is I've combined Christina Chung, but as you can also see, it doesn't have a space in between. So what we have to tell the computer is that we want a space here. Well, the way to do that is to simply write space, comma, except watch what happens when we do that. There's still no space. The reason that that's so is because the computer needs us to tell it we actually need a space there. And it's not reading just the space. So what we have to do is put a quotation mark around both sides of the space, meaning exactly this. And now, as you can see, we have a space. So another thing that's very handy to add is maybe a comma. So let's say that we don't want to do first name space last name. Instead, what if we wanted to do last name comma first name? So let's change these around. Let's take it from B2 to C2 to C2 to B2. So now what we're saying is we want Chung Christina. Okay, we got that, no problem. Let's add a comma. All right, so a minute ago, what we needed was comma space comma B2. Okay, no problem. Now let's do comma and then in parentheses, comma in parentheses. So what we've got here is we've got three things we're combining. Whatever's in C2, exactly a comma, exactly a space, and then B2. When we hit enter, as you can see, we're going to have Chung, comma, Christina. We're at the 3-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap this up. There's one more quick thing I want to show you. If I drag this down, it's going to work for all of the cells on the left-hand side. Next, I'm going to show you a very important part if you want to actually use this information in a macro or executable file, because when you see that when I highlight this, it still has the equation up here. Well, that's worthless because you don't want the equation, you want the information, the value, the thing that's in the cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything, right-click and hit copy, and then go back to the top and right-click and hit paste special. It's not something everybody knows. We're going to just paste the values, hit OK, and now you can see on the top in the formula bar that we have the name, not the equation. Because if I double click on it, it doesn't give us the equation, it gives us the name. That's it. This has been about 4 minutes. This is Mike Shoemake. Let's move on.